We've lived in Fair Oaks / Orangevale for what, 3 years now?
Yeah, almost 3 years.
And we've never been to where we are right now.
This is a really pretty part of Fair Oaks, which totally reminds me of Loomis right now.
Yeah.
Like, this is just what Loomis is like all over.
Except for now we're going to exit that and go into Ackleytown.
Now we're going into, sad.
Don't worry, we're going to try to find you guys another cool spot.
But anyway, welcome to our drive.
Yay, driving.
So John and I, well, John mostly, was talking about how, he was just posting his vlog thing. I guess you weren't really posting. Anyway.
I was doing my vlog thing?
He was doing his vlog and talking about how you can't have good things or you can't know good things without knowing bad things. And I was just thinking about that and like how a lot of people, feel like really scorned like by relationships or think that like they've only ever had
this bridge.
I don't know. If anybody knows where we are, please tell us because I don't think I've ever seen this before. Whee!
I think it's like a park.
Oh.
Can
cool.
we park somewhere and go? No, there's no parking everywhere. I'd love to go like walk down there.
Well, I think you gotta park somewhere else and walk down to here.
Yeah, I guess
We'll do that someday.
Yeah, we'll do that
Welcome
someday.
to Fair Oaks Village. Oh, that's where we are. So we were talking about how, and I feel like a lot of people just haven't had good relationships, but they thought they were good. And so they were like, oh, I was in love, but love sucks. And, you could be like those people over there.
Love
or
stinks.
like these people here, they look like they're in love.
Yeah. No, they don't. They look like they want to kill themselves.
But what I was just thinking is that I don't think that people really have been in love even though they think they have been.
Yeah.
Like,
they've been in lust.
Yeah, and maybe this is being too honest, but I was thinking about like me and John, and I've had like people tell me before that they think we have a really like a perfect relationship. And I would say we have a really good relationship, but I wouldn't say that it's perfect. And I know that that's because like people aren't in our relationship, they don't see us all the time every day. But like, we definitely go through times where we have problems, whether it's like life problems or just like, I don't know, relationship problems, I guess you could say. But I think that what it mostly comes down to is that in the end, he's still my best friend. And that's why like it always works for me, because it's like, even if I get really mad about something, or even if,
there we go,
we can't agree about certain things, and even if we're gonna die in the car, I feel like in the end, it's like, I'll just look at him and I just always think, oh, but he's just like my friend and I have to tell him everything. And so it never works when I try to keep things from him because I'm just,
You're trying to keep stuff from me?
No.
I'm just kidding.
That's not what I'm saying.
Sure.
But what I mean is that I think to really find that good relationship, and whether other people think it's perfect or not, it only matters what you feel about it. And I think that you do have to find that person that's going to be your best friend, because if they're not, then it really won't work. I mean, it's never going to be amazing all the time, always happy, but yeah. I definitely think it helps.
I think it's interesting what you're saying, because really, I think that people expect a perfect relationship to be flawless. No argument, it's bliss all the time, you will always be in love, like romantically, and that it's just that it's perfect. But I think that the way that we understand the word perfect and what perfect really means are not the same thing. When people say that Steph and I have a perfect relationship, I would agree, because our relationship is complete. Like, she completes me, I complete her. Like, in that sense, our relationship is perfect. And now we're at a dead end in a house. But
nice house.
I feel like when people say that, like, oh, well, it was stupid and didn't work out and we weren't really in love, and it's because it wasn't to the perfection scale that the world has defined perfect as, and that it wasn't without flaw, without blemish. And like, I feel like if I was in a relationship like that, that would be stupid, because you wouldn't be able to grow as a person, because if everything was perfect and everything was just right and nothing was ever wrong, well, how do you learn from that? Nobody learns from winning every time. Like, you learn nothing if all you do is win. Like with my writing, I have failed every single time I've submitted a piece to somewhere, except for like once. But I would have learned nothing if every time I just turned in a piece, it did great, because then it'd be like, I would never learn to write better, because, oh, well, everything that I write's fine. I don't need to improve anything. I feel like that's the same thing with relationships, that if it always works out all the time, you don't grow and you don't improve yourself as a person to be a better mate or friend or boyfriend, girlfriend, or spouse, or whatever you are to the person that you're with. And so yeah, relationships are perfect when you complete each other, not when there's no problems to deal with.
Right.
Anyway.
Well, and I think the big thing too, and like the thing I always try to get across to people whenever they like say things about like me and John, like I always like appreciate that people say nice things about us.
Sunset's beautiful. You can't see it.
Pretty sunset. You can kind of see it through the trees. It's
I'll see
like,
if I can get you to a spot where you can see it.
it's like pink and yellow and just beautiful. And I love California sunsets because usually
so
there's
awesome.
always palm trees somewhere in there.
Somewhere.
And I always thought that was cool because growing up, the neighbors behind us had a palm tree in their yard, and so I always loved watching the sunset with the palm tree silhouette.
There. Can you see that well?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, let's pull up a little bit farther.
That's so pretty.
And hey, look, there's palm trees.
Wait, where?
Right there.
Oh yeah, well it's hard to see on this camera
Yeah.
because it's tiny. Wait, I'll show you. Right there.
You can zoom it in a
That
little, honey.
Oh, zoom.
Zoom.
Woo! Look, there
See?
it is. Oh, you can see it.
Palm
Move
tree,
your finger.
right there.
Move your finger.
We're so dumb. Anyway, beautiful sunset. So back to what you were saying.
So what I was saying was that I just feel like whenever people tell me that we have a really good relationship, I'm always really appreciative, and I say like,
too.
thank you, that's great, but you know, we're not perfect, and I never want anybody to think that we're like he
That
was
we have
saying
no problems.
that we don't have problems, and I'm really big on not sharing my personal life in like any way with people, like
Your personal problems, issues.
right, yeah, like
Because obviously you have no problem sharing your life with people.
oh yeah, well it's not that, it's like, and I blog a lot, but like if you read my blog, like I really don't share anything that's really like personal. I share things we do.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
share things I like, but like I'm really big on not sharing things like you know happen with my family or anything.
Yeah.
So, but
Which
I
is
just
good.
and there's a reason for that too, because like I feel like that's what
None of
makes
your
it your
business.
personal life, and I just like don't think other people need to know that stuff. But that's the other thing, is that I think that's why people always say like, oh wow, you guys are so great together, like you just seem like I've had people say you seem like you were just made for each other.
Well, we were.
And I always say like I really appreciate that, but like we work really hard at our relationship, like we really do.
Yeah, I would agree with that. We do.
And the other thing though is that I think that we went into it expecting that it wasn't always going to be great. Like I think that we both came from like having relationships before where
Well, I think that's it too. We both came from very similar relationships that were terrible, and like we knew
Yeah.
what we didn't like and we knew what we liked because we both experienced somewhat longer relationships that weren't very good.
yeah, and so I think we went into it knowing that like yeah, there will be days that we like don't really like each other, and like I know I get on John's nerves.
Whatever, I get on your nerves more.
No, I don't think so.
Yes.
I get on your nerves way more.
Are we gonna have an argument about who's more annoying? No, I'm more annoying. No, I am. I'm still much more annoying. Oh my gosh.
And then that's pretty much how it goes.
We're
And then
pathetic.
but I think it's like, you know, I don't think that we're fake around other people at all, but I think that we only try to show our best selves to other people at the same time.
Well, I mean, you don't ever want to show your crap self.
Yeah, so it's like,
Because you want to be your best self, and so that's what you show us, because that's what you're trying to be.
but I mean, like, by saying this, I'm not trying to say, like, we're terrible to each other and we only show people lies, like, we're not nice people at all. I don't mean that.
We do only show people lies. Our whole life, this is a lie.
No, just what I'm trying to say is that
Chicken in the road, chicken in the road.
this is
chicken,
the
chicken,
best
chicken,
part
chicken,
of
chicken
Fair
in the
Oaks
road.
because there is a
in the road,
chicken
chicken in the road.
and traffic is stopping for the, and like there seriously are wild chickens that walk around the town.
Yep,
Like, no joke. And there's this park over here
we're going to it just so
that's
they can
full
see it.
of wild chickens that they just walk around. Like, we'll come here, like,
I
on
don't
the
know if
weekends.
anyone actually feeds them or if they just chill out, they just eat the grass and bugs and stuff,
Yeah.
because they're just around.
Chickens just walk around.
Well, like on all the Fair Oaks, like this is Fair Oaks signs, there's chickens. Chickens.
So anyway, yeah, I just, like, I think it's best to know that, like, you're best friends with somebody and to just, like, for the most part, try to get along and, you know, never be fake with people, but anyway, I'm glad John's my best friend, and that's what I'm trying to say.
And I'm glad that I'm my own best friend too. Wait, I'm glad that Steph's my best friend too. Yes. Even though she doesn't like me most of the time.
That is not true.
It is slightly true. There's no chickens out today.
Oh, I think it's cold. This is the park where the chickens usually
It
come.
is nipply today.
And they'll just walk around the grass and all over. I can hear them.
You can hear them?
Wait, quiet. Or is that a child?
It could be the kids over there on the swings.
Oh, thanks.
Anyway, we're going home. That ends this day.
But someday we'll show you the chickens because they're cute.
Yes.
And thank you for listening to our conversation about relationships.
Because it's important, because I know you think Dr. Phil knows a lot about relationships, but really, John and the wife know about relationships, not Dr. Phil.
Let's be like Dr. Phil.
No,
Let's
Dr.
be
Phil's
like,
Dr. Phil is stupid.